Evidence.
Tonight, see what truly exists inside the world of the paranormal. Inside. Join the discussion and review some of the best paranormal evidence captures from a wide variety of experienced and up-and-coming investigators. See and hear what they capture, where they captured it, and how they captured it. Right now on Entity Voices
Paranormal Evidence.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the last episode of 2023 for Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence. I'm Chris.
I'm Audra.
I am Tony.
Whoa.
Yeah, you know it.
Bedroom voice.
Oh my God, that made it. That was
I'm right back.
So we can end the show right there. You know it. Done.
Cherie.
And I am Lourdes.
And I'm Tony's assistant. Gotta be affiliated with that. That was the coolest thing I've ever heard.
He's Ron Man.
I'm Ron Man. That was the coolest thing I ever heard.
Oh, thank you. The coolest thing I ever heard was go on.
Go on.
Go on.
Chad Thomas, hello, welcome. Welcome to
everybody.
Hello.
recurring people.
Hello.
I don't see Roger.
Well,
Roger had to work tonight.
yeah, according to Karen, he was making people happy tonight. So he is okay. But
So-
yeah, when I didn't see Roger posting an hour and a half before the show saying, it's coming up, I was like, oh.
I know.
Hello.
So Jeannie beat Roger.
Well,
Jenny.
Yes.
They all beat Roger because he's not showing up tonight.
Yeah.
Melissa,
He popped in at least.
yeah, he did.
Say he's not
Chad
going to be here.
Thomas, Bonnie
Piedmont
Nelson.
Paranormal's on.
Todd
Oops, wrong profile.
Carmella.
That's actually Scott. Now he's back. Well, hello, everybody.
Y'all.
Hello,
Thank you
hello.
for joining us.
We have got a special show for you. So to end the year, so everybody's clear, we won't be back till January 8th because Monday is Christmas and the following Monday is New Year's, and we figure y'all be too hungover anyway. we plan on being hungover, so it'd be hard to put a show together hungover, but actually it probably wouldn't be that hard.
We can do it.
Jenny,
We've done a couple of them one-eyed, so that's all right.
Todd and Carmella,
Todd and Carmella.
Frank
So
Morrison.
tonight, we have all put together what we feel is our best evidence of 2023 that we've captured at our investigations and events. And there might be a couple in there from 2022 that were pretty good, and maybe one a little bit older than that y'all have seen before that is pretty cool.
Yep.
Vegas Para Adventures.
Very
That
cool.
sounds like a paranormal group that does like zip lining down Fremont Street.
Vegas.
Could you imagine?
And the word balls is in the icon.
I saw that.
Hello, Antoine Ritter, Chad Thomas. We'll be appearing on Chad Thomas's podcast tomorrow night,
Oh, cool.
which will be very cool.
Awesome.
We'll plug it at the end. We'll give the name and let everybody know. Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. That's all right.
Start that early.
We started early and we can do it all show long. It's our show. We can do what we want.
There's
So
Ron.
we've got 2024 will be year number 4.
Yeah. Well, at least 4. 4. I think.
Because we started.
so.
When I was looking through the clips, though, I thought I saw something from 4. Maybe not. Maybe it was 3.
Hey, you guys were at it before you drafted us two chuckleheads onto this.
Yeah, I think we started in March of 2020.
I think so.
Forget about it.
It had to be because then July is
Forget how you doing.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds about right.
it's almost 4 years.
Yes.
Yeah, we're coming up
wow.
on 4. Yeah.
Wow.
I know, right?
Hard to believe.
Wow.
Words of bullshit.
We started on Wednesday nights.
Right. Moved to Thursdays and the
Move to
Mondays.
Thursdays and then the Mondays. Yeah.
So 52 weeks a year. So 52 shows minus a couple of holidays. So let's say 50. Means we've done 200 shows. Coming up on 200 shows.
Wow.
Yeah, it's in that ballpark. So let us apologize in advance.
You're right. We're so sorry.
That explains the big paychecks we get.
Lots
what
of zeros on those pages.
Yeah, lots of zeros on those
I think
paychecks.
that was his point.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I can tell you, I don't spend mine all in one place.
Yeah.
So I got to point something out. ERRT Radio. Everybody knows Ronald, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ronald
Just said
knows.
I never take any days off. You're retired.
That's a good point.
I do not take holidays off. You take every day off, Ronald.
It's real easy not to take days off when you don't have to go to work.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You bastard.
Holidays. What are the exactly?
Lucky
Liz, he said pay.
None of us are bitter. None of us are bitter.
That's right, Liz.
We're all happy.
A with a question mark. There you go. All right. Did you guys do any exciting stuff last week?
What's it? Oh, we.
My son was with us last weekend, which was awesome. We went and see him in a school music concert, playing the vibraphone, which was really cool. And I took him for a driving permit test the next day. And we watched a movie with him. You know what we watched with my son? And he's not, I mean, he's been on 2 investigations. This is not his thing. But we watched White Noise with Michael Keaton.
Nice.
Oh my God. That
Oh,
is
I love
It's a
that
good movie.
movie.
And if you know anything about the paranormal, there's a lot of things in there that made really good sense.
Yes.
And now with what we do with Staticom, I'm like, interesting.
You did
Yeah,
a movie last night, Saturday too, with Dylan.
Oh yeah, Dylan took me to go see the 1988 version of Die Hard, which was really cool to see in the theater. But
Oh,
It's not a Christmas movie.
I guess it is. Sorry.
Just because it takes place at Christmas doesn't mean it's a flipping Christmas movie.
And guess what? Dylan paid for the
he did.
date.
He date.
Date one
Yeah.
date.
So I gotta tell the story. So he's like, I got the tickets, I got you covered. I'm like, that's really cool, Dylan. Then we went up and to get popcorn and soda. I mean, it's like $25, $30 for.
Yeah.
So I said, you got the tickets. Let me get the drinks and popcorn. So he's like, oh, okay. So we're up at the register and I said, I want a large popcorn, 2 large sodas. And I'm thinking, okay, $25, $30. I'm expecting it. Some girl walks up, says, hi, Dylan, punches in a couple of numbers. I paid $9.
wow.
I want to know what Dylan's giving her to get the discount.
1980 movie. I don't know what year.
I got 2
It
words.
wasn't for the movie, though. They don't reduce the charge for the popcorn or the drinks. She did something, but it was pretty.
Yeah. He gave her the smile.
I was like father, like son.
For anybody that doesn't know how the movie theater works, the amount of money that they have to pay to the production companies, the percentage off the ticket sales that they do, they make tiny, itty little bits off the movie tickets. It's the concession stands where they make all their money.
Think about the popcorn. I mean, I what is it, $12, $14 for a large popcorn? I don't even remember. But if you think about how many pop kernels are in there, and you divide that, it's like 2 cents a piece of popcorn.
Oh, yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I just saw Todd. Yeah, put that back up. Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ron
and Lourdes have been running ones. Cherie and I ran a couple. We have more coming because I'm testing some other stuff. So yeah, if you ever see Ron and Lourdes go live with Staticom or us go live with it, check it out because there's some cool things in there.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I caught some of Tony's, and it was good. I just sit back listening and going, I should be taking notes on how much stuff I'm hearing.
And we want to hear we want to know what you guys hear too. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, it was interesting. Rachel Ashman, who's one of the people who runs Festival of the Unexplained in the UK, tuned in.
Oh,
And
nice.
it said Rachel was among us, and it said her name and stuff like that. It was really
crazy.
wow.
I do.
Who breaks down the cost of the kernels?
Y'all don't know Tony very well.
Right.
That's funny.
Is everybody ready for Christmas? Holidays?
No,
Good?
I'm not.
No.
Not at all. We're not even
No.
close. I don't think. Oh my God, we gotta do some shopping.
I would be ready for Christmas,
We haven't
but
done any
Amazon
shopping.
doing worse than the postal service this year.
Yeah.
I ordered one of Audra's presents on the 3rd, and it's not scheduled to deliver till Friday.
Wow.
And if it doesn't deliver Friday, she's not getting it because we leave Saturday morning to go to Toledo.
So there's shipping delays. Oh. I haven't ordered anything yet.
I know.
Good thing Amazon is located right here in Phoenix.
And it's a good thing you can print the pictures because if it doesn't show up, you just have to wrap up the picture.
That's right.
This is coming for you.
Yes.
Mhm.
Well, she'll know anyway because I don't buy anything unless she tells me what she wants. I've learned that a long time ago.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I buy stuff and she returns it.
Oh, returns it, gives it away, gives it to her mother or her daughter, or I mean, I bought in what was that? Purse?
Guilty.
What was that purse?
Coach purse.
Yeah, she's like, I want a Coach purse. I want a Coach. So I did. I went out. Me. I don't shop for women's things. I went out, bought her a Coach purse. It disappeared in like a week. I'm like, where's your purse?
Well, because you bought me a small one, it's not me.
You have like suitcase size purse. I thought you
No,
wanted a
it's
little
like
one.
this. I know, but I prefer big one because all my stuff. No, big purse because you.
Everybody started shaking their heads because they know here's the next blooper reel.
I'm just making sure we stay off Facebook.
Ho, 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 Cherie.
Okay, huge maybe. Oh, that's not
Anyway,
good
the purse is done.
Now we
should
know
get
why the
it
spirits always say
for-
Tony Rathman. We looked at Christmas lights, so we were looking for the
Date
spirit
night.
of Christmas.
Went out for steak dinner and
Nice.
Very cool.
Christmas lights. It's fun.
Very nice.
My,
I'm done with all my shopping.
my once a year
Presents
steak.
mailed,
Yeah.
Oh my
wrapped,
God, you're so good.
See?
done. 2 weeks ago. Thank God.
You're good.
No shipping delays in Wonderland.
I was about to say
No.
that.
She was actually late this year.
I
She's usually
was.
done by July.
By July.
I got to tell you, my wonderful wife, I don't eat red meat because of my heart condition, right? Every once in a while, I start craving a big old steak. You'd be surprised when I didn't eat a whole lot of steak prior to the heart attack. And I never craved it. The minute the doctor tells you can't have something, oh man, you're craving it like crazy.
Oh yeah.
Like I mentioned 2 weeks ago, man, I could really use a steak. I haven't had a steak in almost a year. And she took me out for a steak dinner Saturday.
Oh, nice.
Oh, see that?
Very nice.
Why is Melissa Blackman saying this is why I'm single?
Christmas
Because she
shopping?
gives away. Yep, she gives away her presents too. I guess.
Yeah.
Single or popular? One of the two.
Excuse me.
All right, we got about 17 clips for y'all tonight.
No way.
Yes, we had more. We actually shimmied it down a little bit before the show
We're not
started.
going to be back January. We're going to be here till January.
That's funny.
Bickering with love.
Right,
Yeah.
we always bicker with love.
Oh, yeah.
Always.
Audra starts throwing sharp things at me, and then I stop.
I would never do that. Daggers, maybe,
Yeah.
out of the eyes.
Exactly.
Now, let me teach y'all something about. Do you hear the tonality in Audra's voice? When Audra yells, I laugh. She's not one of those people that the yell sounds mean. When she yells, her voice goes up in pitch. So when she would yell at her kids when they were younger, when she would yell at the dog, I would just start laughing. And she'd like, what? I said, you're mad, but you don't sound mean at all. It's hilarious.
Real hilarious.
It's funny.
Not this one. When she's mad, you know it. The neighbors know it. Everybody knows.
My face changed too. Like
It's more Japanese.
yeah.
The samurai comes out.
Bring up the samurai.
The ninja nice stuff coming out.
Yeah.
Funny.
Hey Ash, do me a favor. Put the name of your clips that you're doing on YouTube in the chat for everybody to take a look at. So
yeah, they're cool.
they're pretty cool. Ash is I don't know if he'll get mad at me for saying this. Ash is a deputy here in North Carolina, and he's a good friend of Scott's. Yeah. And he's an honorary member of PPIT, and he actually attended the private investigation that we did with Scott, where Audra and I went through and did a reading prior to the investigation starting, and he filmed some of that reading and the investigation and put out a little 5-minute clip on YouTube. It's pretty cool.
It's awesome. It's on my Facebook page as well. That's really cool.
It's pretty cool. The bad part is it shows the size of Chris's belly, and I don't like that. So, but the good news is by the New Year's we'll have twins. So, all right, let's start playing some evidence before this gets way out of control.
Might as well.
What?
Might as well.
Might
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Thought I did something wrong.
And not yet.
And let me tell y'all, when Cherie starts yelling, she is not discriminate at all.
No,
No.
there is no filter.
I don't discriminate.
There is no filter.
Not at all.
I love everyone.
There is no consciousness.
No.
There's no
No empathy. No empathy.
no nothing.
The nicest person here,
Yeah.
right?
Jekyll and Hyde.
Agree.
I'll never forget the Montgomery house. Audra, Lourdes, and I were in one room doing an EVP session. And who were you in the other room with?
No, Chris, you and I.
It was Tony, Lourdes, and myself. And Audra and Cherie were in another room doing an EVP session with Ron. Were you in with them?
I was with you guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And we're asking questions, and Cherie's asking questions. You hear Cherie go, "Stop it! We're doing an EVP session." And then you hear me come back and go, "What do you think the fuck we're doing?" It was
I
fun.
remember that well.
That's why we love you.
Love you, Karen. Oh boy.
All right, here we go.
All right.
So this first one is from that investigation, and this is one of my favorite ones. So here, let's go. Let's play it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I know. That was so cool.
That's my friend.
So we've been investigating this house for over 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
There's been rumors of a little girl in the house, and we've
Not really.
sensed her a couple times, but not really that much. That night, the 6 of us were in that house. She came out like crazy and started talking, and twice she said Lourdes' name.
Yeah.
Oh,
I wonder if her name
I
is
saw
Sarah.
her.
Yeah.
That's right.
I saw
Oh,
her.
that's right.
And that was the first time you've seen
First
that.
time I've ever seen anything that clear.
Yeah.
And I think there's a clip in here that confirms that after I said I saw her, Staticom spit something out, but we'll hear that later.
Yeah.
Her name is Sarah, right?
That's
Sarah.
what I got. I
That's
don't
what we picked
know
up.
that
We
it
don't know
was
for
My
sure.
daughter's name is Sarah. I'm wondering if she knows that because it's consciousness. If she knows that, then maybe that's why she was like, "Hey, Lourdes." I mean, I don't know. Who knows? But
Yeah. I will tell you from a Staticom perspective, I think the number 2 most said name from the other side is Lourdes.
Mhm.
Of course, number
It-
1 still.
it's Tonia than Lourdes.
Anthony
Jordan
Rath.
Rath.
From us 6, y'all. Don't get all upset now. From us 6.
The chat's about to blow up.
Yeah. Tony's name does come up. It's probably number 1, and then it's my name.
We'll be at a public event. She'll be like, I'll be right back. She's going to go to the bathroom. I'm like, all right. She'll leave the room and send Lourdes. I'm like, she's coming back.
Can we talk about something else?
Yeah.
And she said it properly. Yes, she did.
Yep.
I love it.
That's right.
Perfectly.
That was I submitted a clip from that location also today. That was, and we've all done some really cool. I know for us, 2023, we did some really awesome locations, places we hadn't been before, well-known locations, and that weekend at the Montgomery House when we were all together was probably still our highlight for the year, for the location and for the fact that we all got to get together and stay with you guys at your house. But that house was amazing that night.
Yeah, it really was.
That house is amazing, period.
I know, but just...
And the funny thing is when we first introduced the idea, there you go. Thank you, Ash.
Perfect.
When we first introduced the idea to the Montgomery County Historical Society, they're like, they just led a normal life. There was no murders here or anything. What would make it haunted?
Life.
the age of it. I swear that after like 80, 85 years, somewhere between that and 100 years, just because it's still standing, it's still there. I don't know what it is, but even if nothing tragic occurred, spirits show up.
Well, the historical value of it alone, what they did in that house, being the only doctor in 3 counties, and it took a 2-day ride to get to see him, and then they use it as a courthouse, and there's rumors of hangings happening on the property. I mean, come on, the history behind it alone.
Right. And the other thing is, what's the correlation with the murders and stuff, right? It's the heightened emotional state imprinted on, right? Yada, yada. So if you go with that whole concept, that's not the only heightened emotion that is felt in a location that people worked at, that was a courthouse, people lived at. There's a variety of emotions that have happened there, and some of them probably very heightened. So it doesn't just take death to hit a benchmark of an emotional imprint, I don't think.
Well, and you're missing one of the strongest emotions that people feel throughout life.
No bathroom. Oh,
no. Emotion, not physical strain. No love. They're going to the bathroom.
No bathroom.
Hey, when you're on one of these back roads in North Carolina and you got to go to the bathroom and there isn't a gas station in sight, you get some emotions.
Crying on the inside.
No, I'm talking love. Mrs. Montgomery, that was the land was given to her by her father. The lady never left a 5-mile radius her entire life.
Wow.
Her love, that land.
She loved, that was her, that's where she grew up. That's where she was born. She was raised. She lived her entire life, and then she died. I mean, hell, they had her wake in the house, and she's buried a quarter mile down the road.
I was going to say, it's in the cemetery that she's buried, like right up the road.
Yeah, it's like a mile up the road.
And there you go. Piedmont just said the same thing. Mr. Scott Reddick. There you go,
Scott. And I can tell you one thing that we've learned about the South: people are passionate about their property.
True.
Passionate. There's generations upon generations still sitting on the same land. Mm-hmm. Our dog sitter for next week, or for the end of this week, that we're leaving the property that she lives on has been in her family for what, 5 generations? She said.
Yeah, it was 3 to 5. I know there's like 40 acres still within that family. There's different houses on it still.
Her parents live right next door. Her brother lives down the road, and it's all been connected through 3 to 5 generations of family here. So
I'm going to get a vacation house right down the street for the same reason. Summer home.
See if you can buy a property in between, just to split them up a little bit. All right. So the next piece we got is bocce.
Oh, I know where that one comes from.
All right, here we go.
Spirits, can you please try to communicate with us through this device?
Who's watching?
Bachi. That was clear. Do you want us to do the rumbling?
Bachi, are you keeping track of what we're doing?
Marcello, can you see us?
Yes.
Thank you. Marcello, you started this method. It's working. Can you please try to communicate with us?
That was so flippin' clear.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite moments in the entire 3-part docuseries. That piece right there.
Because that one is absolutely on top of our list as far as communication, because that was so clear. You wouldn't, and there was no background noise. It just was like somebody talking over a speakerphone or something. It was just crazy.
Yeah, Melissa, I agree. For us too, right? 6 years, give or take, of direct radio is, evolved into Staticom. And I remember when I saw that clip, I was like, oh my God, that's why we're doing this.
Yeah.
Right.
That was not only the clarity of it, though. I mean, that was a response.
Yeah. It's relevant.
Right.
That was Bachi was spoken twice.
Right. And then somebody else said Bachi coming. Just
right.
The conversation just followed along and kept progressing. And then Sheree's like, talk to us. What do you have to say?
I know.
I'd say
And then this overpowering voice. I'd say glad to meet you. I'm like, oh my God. And not that I want you to replay it because we have a ton of clips, but there is, even though he's speaking English and he didn't speak English, well, he might have, I don't know, but wasn't his native tongue.
Yeah.
It sounds like there's a little bit of accent even in when he says it. So I find it fascinating.
I think is this the first time that we were testing the Staticom?
It was one of the first week, something like that.
Yeah. And we have Dylan with us.
Dylan was with us, yeah.
That was early on because that was around the time I had gotten the Bachi and Tony's Your Friend stuff too.
Right. Right. Yeah, because I do remember that.
It does absolutely rock.
Yeah, it does. It does.
All of it absolutely rocks. To know that they still communicate with us, the intelligent responses that we get from investigations, the timing, the relevance, the tonality of the voices that we get that all rocks, period. Yeah. Wish more people believed.
It's just mind-blowing when you get
this. I would put that clip in probably in the top 10 clearest voices I've heard through ITC in any method, in any time, including our own sessions. That would be in the top 10 for me with how good that is.
Every single time is mind blowing. It's crazy.
Yeah, and the power behind it. I mean, it's not like a background voice. It's not like, okay, yeah, I can hear it. I mean, it is smacks you right in the face.
You don't need headphones.
You don't need anything.
No. Headphones discouraged.
Right.
All right. The next one we got is EVPE Montgomery EV41.
Oh yeah, that's mine. You'll never guess where this one was recorded.
Gee, we might have talked about it a couple times.
Can we guess?
Yes. No bathroom.
No bathroom. Which is a necessary emotion.
Yeah, it's a necessary emotion.
All right. Going to the bathroom.
Yeah, I had to include one from Montgomery because it's a year end and it's all of us. And this was one of my favorites from that. I'm going to UNX Radio DV. Oh, cool.
See you there.
See you there.
That was like opening of the show Rathman's movie.
I was trying to be sexy.
Tony, as you said, responsible is English. Wonder if it's in conscience you speak any language. Well, that is one of the theories, is that you get communication in the language that you're familiar with.
Right.
And if it's coming from a unitary consciousness, that makes sense.
It does make sense because, for example, in Calling Earth, when Bachi had Annabella Cardoso and
David Fontana, Robin Foy, right.
The voice came in Italian, and he said, I have people here that speak English, and the voice spoke English.
Yeah.
And Sheree and I investigated the Diplomat Hotel in the Philippines.
There you go.
We got 4 different languages, 3 of which Sheree speaks. So the only one that we didn't recognize was
Italian.
Latin.
Scandinavian or something.
Latin.
But we found out what it meant finally. But yeah, and Sheree's like, they said this. They said, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Which tells us that the spirits use Google Translate.
Well, when the words come in wrong, that might be true.
Yeah. All right, so here's that clip. Here we go. I could have sworn I just heard her say that means
Yes.
Let Mrs. Montgomery speak, please.
on your machine. Mrs. Montgomery, was it you earlier that I kept hearing saying I want to talk?
I did. Yep.
I did.
That was female voice. Yep. Nice.
So awesome.
I miss those days.
So for the days.
I know I looked at Audra and I'm like, oh my God, that was 7 months ago already?
Already?
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Which is proof the older we get, the faster it goes.
That is so true.
Yeah.
That's why they call it over the hill, because when you get to the other side, it's all down and it goes faster.
Roll down.
Mhm. That's pretty awesome.
That was pretty awesome.
That was that house yielded a lot.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
It went crazy.
Yeah.
We got to do another EVPE investigation because, man, the responses we were getting.
So another maybe weekend, make it an anniversary thing.
Oh,
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that idea too. What do you think, baby?
Of course.
Yeah, he wants to see
You want to
stuff.
ask Chris and Audra if it's okay if we can metal detect that land, right?
Right, exactly.
Oh yeah,
So
This is the South. Don't tell them what you'll find.
yeah.
when the association says, we understand you were doing some paranormal investigation, but what are those 2 people doing digging up the front yard? We don't know. We don't know.
Oh boy.
So the next one is from the same investigation. And this is also a static cop response. So here we go. Say that again.
Sorry, let me bring it up.
Do we speak different language? Would they each receive the messages in their language?
Yeah, my opinion, Everett, is yes. If the message is directed to one person, meaning if they gave a message to one person, it would be in their language. If they then had a message for somebody else, it would be in their message. If they were communicating to everybody, then I can't tell you what language they would choose.
The problem is the other 3 people wouldn't know what the spirits and the other person were talking about because they don't speak that language. I'm just being a smartass. Sorry. Can you imagine 4 people in the same location and none of them speak the same language? So what the fuck are they saying?
How did we get here would probably be the first phrase.
Where are we?
It'd be like that movie Legion where all the different people showed up at the diner out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
Oh, I love that movie.
that's a great movie.
Mhm.
All right, here's that clip.
Seriously, I thought I heard. See something? What is Chris saying?
Nice.
Yeah.
Clear?
Very.
It sounds like Kid.
Huh?
Yeah, I looked like a DJ.
You look like a DJ.
You look like a DJ.
DJ Ron.
DJ Ron in the house.
Ron DMC. You're welcome.
Ron DMC. Flava Raffman next to him right there.
We're going up in flames tonight.
We are. You tell it's the last episode of the year.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh my goodness.
So the next one is Not the Baby. This is the one from the Philippines, right?
Yeah, this is the exact place I was talking about the multiple languages that we got. But yes, this is in the Diplomat Hotel. It was an old monk nun retreat house, big house, but there was a whole bunch of tragedy. The nuns and priests actually got beheaded by during World War II. By
Headquarters of Yamashita.
Yamashita took it over, killed all the priests and the nuns, and Sheree and I got a night to investigate it, and it was just crazy. But you'll see what I'm talking about when you see this clip.
All right, so here we go.
Do you miss your family? Do you need help? What happened to you? Are you trapped here in this building?
Maybe. Hear it?
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's a lot of EVPs.
That is a lot of EVPs.
Yeah.
We could hear them speak with our own ears, so it was insane.
Wow.
Yeah.
You see, everybody says you always get Tony Rathman and Lourdes, but you got all good in that one.
Yeah. It's all good.
It's all
the way
good.
in the Philippines.
Where?
You see a bucket go floating by.
Red bucket. Yeah. With all that rain, it probably would have.
Yeah, Donna, it's very
Yeah,
tragic.
it was.
Yeah. The sad thing is that's some of the best places to investigate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, the next one we got I Am Somebody Consciousness.
Oh, yeah. This one, when we talk about who or what we may be communicating with, and we all kind of agree that we think it's consciousness, whether it was incarnate before or not. That's what we collectively think to be the case. And this is one of those times when whoever came through declared it.
This is awesome.
And they also name drop just so I would think they're cool. You'll see what I mean.
Yes. Wonder who it could be.
No name dropping.
All right, here we go.
Wow.
Okay, so what was so funny, Ron and Lourdes?
Oh, you know, in the beginning when the Staticom logo goes boom, with like that. A lot of times when we play those clips, I go like that to her right at that moment, and it jumped, and we did it during the clip.
It was funny.
So I know some of you have known this before, but Tony and I have control of we can control the show. So
Right.
if I'm playing the clips and you see Cherie clicking, Cherie's the one that's popping up your comments. Ron and Lourdes can't see us when a video is playing, but we can see them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's where some of those bloopers came from, actually. So.
Yes.
Yeah. I knew you could see it, so I wasn't if you could see her react. But I do that to her all the time. With that old boom, and then she's like, but yeah, that was, to me, it was crazy how clear and pronounced.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody's background in audio, whether they've done as much as buy a radio or they built every radio on the planet and produced every song ever written. That's a voice saying the word consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not only that, but the implications of what he's indicating.
Yeah.
He doesn't call himself spirit, a ghost. It's
Tony's
on consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
Then he even says, "Hey, look at me," meaning he knows he's aware of you. He thinks you can be aware of him, whether he knows or not. You can see him or not. I don't know. But he literally says, "Look at me," as an indication, like I exist. I'm consciousness. Right. I'm thought. I'm a reality. And then of course he, name dropped.
Name drop. Let's throw a creepy factor into this. When you have a spirit come through that clearly, saying, "I am Tony's friend. I am consciousness. I am somebody. Look at me."
Yeah.
He's in the fucking room with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be.
And it doesn't happen anywhere else. I don't go to a restaurant and have somebody come up and take my check and go, "I am customer." I am friend.
Look at me.
Look at me. Doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It's because when we receive those, you see me looking around to see if I can see them, but I never do.
Again, there's no radio on this one.
Right. Those
Just
voices
clarify,
shouldn't even be there.
Radio.
Should not be there.
That's true. And I actually, what Tony brought up was really, really, really important. And I'm glad he did, was he said the identification part of it. He said, "I am consciousness," which is interesting because when you know how people say we're not physical beings having a spiritual experience, we're spiritual beings having a human or a physical experience. Right. If you think about it, what Tony just pointed out is huge because we never say, "I am a body." We say, "I have a body." Right. So our identity is not our physical, even inherent in the language. I don't care what your belief system of ghost is. That's what people say.
Correct.
They don't. I don't care if they're an atheist and they're materialist. They don't look at a woman and go, "Wow, she has a nice body." They go, "She has a nice body."
Correct.
So the identity is not synonymous with the physical.
Right. You are spot on with that determination because you're right. Nobody says I am a body. It's I have a body. And I know lately, the last couple of years, I've been saying, "Hey, I need a new body." But
you have to throw that one.
Yeah, my knees crack like glow sticks when I get up. My back locks up. I can't move half the night. But other than that,
shit, I have to get up so slow. I don't even get my knees can't crack because I'm moving so slow.
I went metal detecting on Saturday. My legs hurt so bad last night when I went to bed. Cherie rubbed them. Thank you very much. I drove to work. I literally had to grab the roof of the car and pry myself out because my legs did not want to stand up.
But think about it, though. There's a significant factor to that statement. I have a body. There is no thought process in that statement. Ron has half a body. Ron has a whole body. The second portion is sitting next to him.
He's not my bestie anymore. My bestie.
Just based on what Anthony just said, if anybody goes and looks on Ron or Lourdes' page and sees the newest picture of the two of them, which is a great photograph.
Yes.
But notice Ron is 2 steps above her.
Trying to look like Shaq.
Great.
Go
ahead, give it to me. But
Tony wouldn't let me do that for more than like 30 seconds when we were at the Chrysler Mansion. He had to get on the same stair with me.
That was the best.
That was funny. But I mean, think about it though. He says I'm consciousness, and people say I have a body. That statement is not a conscious statement. People don't think about that statement before they make it. It just naturally comes out.
That's my point. Yeah.
Right.
Yep. I think Gio put in the thing that they said I am somebody.
Yep.
But they don't mean I am some body. I think somebody as in I'm an individual, I'm an autonomous entity, and not
correct.
Well, he was my friend. I think that's what.
Yeah, he was your friend.
Yeah, that's Tony's friends pop into our sessions all the time.
They like
Don't
to crash
forget the
our
Tony.
party.
Yeah.
Looking for Tony.
That's funny.
So hey, that offers up a good question. So say somebody like RoboCop, would he say I have a body, or they built me a body?
Well, he has a body. It's a robotic body.
I don't know. David Lee Roth said I ain't got no body.
I would say it's still a body.
I ain't got nobody.
I ain't got nobody. Lourdes is gonna pee.
Yeah. He's on a roll today.
I see RoboCop doing the can. This show is getting way out of control.
Yeah, we deserve it.
You can tell we don't talk as often because we're in the holidays, things are getting busy. Because when we get on the show, I mean, what have we shown? Maybe 6, 7 clips? It's been an hour already.
Yeah, and we had like what, 4?
Yeah,
17.
we're not responsible.
I think Tony.
We're not responsible adults.
No,
We're not. And
Thanks,
we've
Doc.
warned people about our maturity numerous times, and they still don't listen.
It's your all's fault.
You still show up. All right. So the next one we got, and I did this twice. This is 2 separate clips because I'm a little jealous. We've been at this damn house for almost 3 years now, and the little girl never showed herself, never called our flipping names, but she called Lourdes's twice that night. All right, here we go.
That's awesome.
That's so cool.
Here's the best part. The first one was Audra introducing Lourdes, and she said, "Hey, Lourdes."
Yep.
That one, we were all outside. The house was completely empty. It was like she was looking for Lourdes.
That's right.
Oh, so sweet. Her voice.
What do you call nose?
Everett, nobody knows.
Look at that.
He thought he pulled a quick one on you.
Yeah. He's probably like, damn.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Tony's like, I'll take biological riddles for 300.
Right? She sounds so adorable. So
She was, and she loved Lourdes.
Yep.
To the point where we go outside and she's still looking for her. And that was loud and clear too.
Yeah.
That's super clear.
And you can tell it is the same voice from the other one.
It sounds very right.
Yeah.
Very simple.
Yep.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Chris does know everything. That's right. Christoph.
We doing dad jokes now.
Almost, Scott. We're working towards it.
Well, apparently Everett is.
Sweet and innocent. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I just want to make something clear about this next clip. This is from the same location, but I guarantee you 100%, we all love and adore Tony, but none of us said this. All right. So here we go.
Can you stop talking and let spirits that are in this house answer our questions? They're trying. Okay, keep going, please, because I can hear it blessing. That was a yes. It sounded like.
Yeah.
That's good.
That one's good.
Honestly, I think after it says
they're tricking
me. I think it says Cherie's here. I believe it says Cherie's here, and then it says let's touch Tony. I believe.
Wow.
You know, I replay it because I know we have a lot of, but I think I hear that.
What's up, Nocturnal? Yeah, I heard it too when you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cherie's here.
See, what Tony's not telling you is that was the point where we realized that there was two spirits standing behind you.
They came up right. I jumped in my chair.
You did.
They like rushed right up, and Chris was just about to. You said something like, "What's going on in that room?" or "What's in that room?" or something like that just before, and then and I like just panicked because I could feel it just rush up on me, and so yeah, that was right before they had just said, "Let's touch Tony."
Yeah.
Yep.
Ash, we would love,
Yep.
and I'll make you a deal, but I will cover if you bring a bunch of detectives down. With me being an ex Maricopa County Sheriff's Officer in Phoenix, I will cover the cost of your investigation if you bring detectives down to do the Montgomery house. Now, I'm going to tell everybody right now that is not open to everybody.
We would never get money for donations.
No. But yes, I will cover the cost of North Carolina county deputy sheriffs coming down and doing an investigation. I'll cover that cost. Matter of fact, I support you guys. I am an avid member of the Sheriff's Association in North Carolina too. So,
and I will cover setting up a StreamYard live stream of it, and as long as Audra walks around with her phone.
Oh yeah,
that would be cool.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
We need that Popo one.
Leia.
I know.
That's funny. Popo money.
Popo money. That's funny. Ash is a good dude, you guys.
Yeah, he is.
Wish you guys could have met him. Like, next time you guys come down, we'll have to make sure that you guys meet PPIT and Ash. They're good people.
Yeah. That
would be good.
All right, the next one we got the Ties Staticom V2.
So this one was a restaurant 25-30 minutes from here. My father's band, guys he's known for years. The bass player is 92.
Yeah.
They play a lot of local gigs. They had played this place. She got some feelings something was going on. She had a conversation with a waitress, Bam Zoom Bing. We talked to this other group, Paranormal Peaches, right?
Yeah.
They two of them are near there. The one sets up an investigation for the two of them and the two of us. We go in. It's two parts to the clip. The first part is the part that blew us away because it names the subdivision of the town. And we, for that power of suggestion thing, we never even knew that subdivision of the town existed.
Right, because it's called Little Falls, right? It's Little Falls. We knew Little Falls.
Yeah, so you'll hear somebody ask a question about where they live, and then right away the owner who was there at the time says the name of this town, and then it comes through twice. But the second time, it's like a person yelling it, and it came out of the speaker, and we were all like, we all heard it, but they knew what it was.
Right, because I heard the Signac. I did. But since I didn't know the name of the town, I thought it was noise. So when they all react, I'm like, what did you hear? And when they say it, I was like, yeah, I did hear that. I heard it. But yeah.
This is a good one.
That's
cool.
That's
a good one.
Hey, real quick, Nocturnal Nation said he's in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Reach out to me on Facebook, and I'll give you some information on that Montgomery house if you guys want to do an investigation there. It's a great place. And all the money goes to the Montgomery County Historical Society. We don't keep a penny of it. We help maintain the house. We run the investigations, but every dime that we get from the investigations goes to them. So reach out to me on Facebook.
Worth it. Worth the trip.
It really is worth it.
Awesome place.
All right, here's that clip. Here we go.
You want to go home?
I heard yes.
What town did you live in?
Oh, what a big singer.
Oh!
What did you hear?
Zach! I heard it.
I heard it.
Stopping on that one, and I have not heard that. I got it on video. And when we were upstairs, we heard a banging. Do you know who might have banged or hit into something? Chair. Did you hear the chair? Yeah, I heard the chair. They bumped into the chair. To get your attention. I heard it. I totally heard it. I didn't hear it, but I totally heard it.
That's awesome. Well, not just.
So welcome everybody to Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence. I'm Ron. Roger be the only one left.
Not only was that clear, but the understanding of what they were asking, being able to say the name of the town or city, to be able to put their question into an intelligent and correct answer, mind-blowing. Just mind-blowing.
Mind-blowing. Yep.
We never heard of Signac before, but when they said it and we looked on the map, that's why I put the map there, because that's exactly how you pronounce that.
Signac.
Signac.
Incredible.
That is amazing.
That is cool.
And it was loud. That's one of the loudest individual word responses we've ever gotten.
Yeah, crystal clear. Crystal clear.
Intelligent spirit. Yeah, we seem to run across a lot of those.
And that was what, like 2-3 days after we got back from the house in between.
I think so.
When we were down in New Orleans,
I think
which is where
so.
the other clip is from, and then Mississippi at the house in between, where once again the name Rathman came through.
Yeah, even there.
Yep.
Pronunciation, yes.
Very.
Yeah.
And strong.
Yeah, just think a rat man with an H.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe he wasn't talking about me.
We'll be back.
The funny thing is they keep asking if we know Rathman, and it's like, no, never heard of the dude.
Well, that's how you can tell if the spirits know you're lying or not, because
That's right.
they all know him. We must too.
So this next clip, I had to include this clip, and Tony's got one like this too. God, how old am I?
You're old, bro.
In the 24 to 26 year time span I've been doing investigating, this was the most awesome EVP I've ever caught.
Oh.
But it's also the most disturbing one I've ever caught. So everybody that's listening, turn your speakers way up. If you've got earphones in, put them in tight, turn them up. Because at the beginning of this, you can hear somebody say no. It's very faint. The second portion is undeniable. This is the one we caught at Trans-Allegheny in the lobotomy section of the hospital.
Yeah, this is so cool.
Here we go.
It's just sends chills.
Yeah,
I know. It's like I love it, but it still breaks my heart at the same time. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know, because you can hear the emotion, you can hear the fear, you can hear the pain, you can just imagine everything, and it's that good.
This is where familiarity and integrity of the person investigating comes into play, because if that was a person at a far end of the asylum building that screamed somebody was messing around, Chris would have ran his ass down there and found out. And that would not have been an evidence clip he would have shown anybody.
Right.
The guy.
So you know
they would have
that wasn't a
around
person
with the red bucket in their head.
Yeah.
Red bucket up their ass is what they'd have gotten. Those buckets are big.
Melissa.
Yeah, that one is crazy. That one, there was nobody in the lobotomy section at that time when that was captured.
Wow.
And really, really fast. I could probably explain the whole history, but really, really fast. At Trans-Allegheny, people that don't know the history, it was where the lobotomy was first introduced in America that they used on patients. And he did hundreds of lobotomies on patients. They didn't consent, and he never used anesthesia.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
And that's actually faint. If you're sitting here when I was reviewing, I literally went, holy fuck, what the hell was that? I could not believe I caught it. It's actually louder than that. StreamYard actually tones it down. That's actually pretty soft.
Yeah.
But it's so clear. You can hear detail in the scream. You can hear the panic, the fear, the pain, all of it.
Yeah. That's why he's so good. But
that's why it's so good and so intense when you capture it. It was
The
like,
emotion that's behind that is,
And honestly, when I was reviewing that section, because I've told you guys, I go around, we do a walkthrough. I place I don't carry it around. We place it where we feel the energy and we think we're going to get the best hits. And we placed that camera early on in the night. And I can tell you the whole time I was reviewing it, I could hear people walking by, people seeing my red bucket saying, hey, Chris, it's us. And at this point, I was starting to nod during my review when I heard that, and it woke me up like that. It was that was awesome.
That was so cool.
Yeah, that's one of the best ones.
What the hell is that?
Chicken skin. Chicken skin.
Chicken skin. Reese must have popped. There he is.
That's my arm right now.
He's funny. I knew when I saw it. I knew what that was when I saw it.
That's funny.
Yeah,
that was great.
Yeah.
That was great.
And yes, Anthony Simonelli was there that night. So.
The thing is with me is I could hear that hammer hitting a pin. You can clearly hear it making contact.
Yeah.
When you think about that thing going into a head, somebody's head.
If you guys really want to get chills on that one, go back, listen to the show again, and pull up a picture of the lobotomy tools from the early 1900s.
Yeah, you can see it.
And when you look at that picture and then listen to that EVP, man, it gives you chills from your tailbone up to the back of your skull.
Yeah. That was awesome. That was amazing. Just
I love that EVP.
Yeah, that's really
I love and hate that EVP all at the same time.
Yeah.
All right. The next one was a Staticom one at the Montgomery house. Imagine that. And this was right after Tony saw his first apparition, clear apparition for the first time.
Which is pretty cool.
So here we go.
Yeah, this is cool.
It is.
Very famous.
No, but I mean, the fact that when I saw her first on the stairs and then second time she poked her head, we were outside, she poked her head like this to the window. Chris said to me, you seeing something? Like, she just poked her head. He's like, exactly. And I'm like, I've never seen that before. And then later that evening, that came through Staticom.
Yeah. Welcome to my world.
Yeah, and that's important. Cool. The story around it's important because of the experience he has. Is the context, I think, for that. Context. You can see he's a human being. He's not blind. I don't think it was an observation of his biological capabilities. I think they meant,
correct.
Voyance. So he can maybe not clairvoyance, but he can see. He saw. He saw.
Yeah.
I saw.
He had a metaphysical experience. Yeah.
Correct. Because I mean, I was going up and down the steps, so clearly I could see. But
thank God, or we'd have been picking him up.
Doing a tuck and roll.
I don't know if those 1830 floors could have handled you falling down the stairs that many times.
Probably not. Neither could have I.
Yeah.
We would have both been hurt.
Don't hurt the house, Tony. Okay, don't hurt the
I know.
Yes, he saw a female.
Yeah.
Well, the first time. That's why that static com response is interesting. It was his very first time, and perhaps that's why they
first
said
time
it.
I've ever seen anything like that where it right in front of you and detail, color.
To be specific, Scott, Tony saw Sarah,
the little girl.
The little girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Scott sends me some of the evidence that he as he reviews. They've got a thermal hit.
Yeah.
From the courtroom. I don't want to spoil it, but from the courtroom into the kitchen area, they've got a thermal hit that is wow.
Cool.
It is wow. I can't wait to have them on the next show. That's
they get good
the next time they're on. It's cool. Literally, because it's a thermal. It's cool.
That is
unintended.
Unintended.
Well, we've reached
Go ahead, Ron.
You know, Scott's question. We've reached the dad jokes now.
Yes, we have. Yes. Everett started it. It's Everett's fault.
Blame it on Everett.
So this next one is a new one. You've never seen this before, but I wanted to make sure I played this. Pumpkin, how is he?
So my son's cat passed away almost 2 weeks ago. He was good up until a couple weeks before Tony broke his parrot, Sherry.
You got to give it up to Anthony. He always comes up with it.
You do. So the cat passed away almost 2 weeks ago. His name was Pumpkin, P-U-N-K, and because my son was little, he couldn't say pumpkin, and he wanted to name him that because he was an orange tabby. 3 days maybe before he passed, we were doing a Staticom session.
And I took him and I put him on my lap to comfort him, and I was comforting him, and we were doing Staticom.
And he was on medicine. We were hoping he was going to bounce back, and he did temporarily. So we had a little bit of hope.
Yeah, we did.
And this was not even 30 seconds maybe into a Staticom session, and a voice came through and asked how the cat was, and we were like,
we both looked at each other. We were like, "Oh, how is he?"
Wow.
So you'll hear it, and you'll see his little cuteness in there.
Okay.
All right. So here we go.
Punking, how is he?
Okay. First of all, not only we were talking about clarity, super, unbelievably clear, but pronunciation. That did not say pumpkin.
Yeah.
Right.
It said pumpkin.
Yeah.
Clear as can be. Just the intelligence that shows. The question alone, hearing that out of nowhere when the cat's not doing the best and it's in your lap, just the intelligence of consciousness that shows, and the correct pronunciation of the cat's name, mind-blowing to me. Just mind-blowing.
What you're missing, the most important part of that is the emotion, the concern, the empathy.
Correct.
It wasn't just the intelligence, the pronunciation, the relevance. It was the concern and the empathy of the question was amazing. There's emotion in that statement. Which is huge.
No, you guys nailed. I mean, we miss him obviously very much. What Tony said was the thing that jumped out at me the most. The emotion part also, and to speak to Ash's question real fast, the concept or the idea that's pretty much imbued with fear of doing this stuff, I think is more of an American ghost hunting concept that that you're opening up portals to hell and dark demonic things are going to reorganize your silverware and make matching sheets not match and all that kind of whatever they do. And I think it's in European ITC, which is where Staticom before DRV is derived from, is more of a stations or ports of call for communication, interdimensional. It's not. It doesn't have the religious implications or tie-ins 100%. That's all it is. You're either talking to to the angels or demons and all that kind of stuff. So for research purposes, to do DRV when we started, and then obviously Tony's been doing the same thing with Ghost Boxes, and then with Direct Radio Voice, and then Staticom. In order to do regular sessions and log data to experiment with different things to improve it, which we've collectively done, you either got to rent a space that you can get to, or you got to use your home studio space. And in Europe, Dr. Annabelle Cardoso, who mentored me and has influenced all of us with the Staticom stuff, she's been doing them in her little studio space in her house for years. So I think it's an American-born ghost hunting. I don't want to say fallacy. I'm not going to say there is no possibility of something going sideways, but I don't. I think I used to be hesitant when I first started doing spirit boxes when I was starting out in the paranormal. I was afraid to even turn them on because something might come through. And now I turn them on going, something might come through.
I mean, I completely agree with Ron. Yeah. Sheree and I have been doing it at home for probably 12, 13 years.
Even when we were starting.
Right. Even with, way back with spirit boxes, and never had anything I would consider even a concern or a major concern. I mean, it's amazing to me how complimentary, how understanding, and how communicative what you're communicating with, and which we now believe is consciousness, but disembodied consciousness. But, I've never had anything come through and just start ripping negativity. I don't think ever. Well, no, I don't want to say ever. When we were at that woman's house in Vegas, that was insane. Right. But never had a problem doing it at home. Never had any concerns.
I guess if we were those type of people that were antagonizing or trying to
thrill seek,
and we were doing that, and we were that type of people, perhaps we shouldn't do it at home, because all you're gonna do is you're gonna bring in negativity, and you don't want that in your home. But we don't do that. We are just simply trying to communicate with consciousness. And just like radio frequencies and signals are around us, the voices are all around us all the time. Just because we get voices doesn't mean that it's haunted.
Right. Yeah. No. And Ash, not a problem. We these are the kind of questions we like to answer, because there's a lot of, and I've been on a huge tip with this lately with axioms, these things that are accepted beliefs in the paranormal field. Handed down like traditions, like turkey on Thanksgiving. Nobody questions the origin story. Why is it believed? And what practice is shown? And that's one of those things. So we haven't found it to be a negative thing either. And what Lord has said is spot on. Like we will not at home or anywhere on the strength of anomalous voices deem a location to be haunted, because we can get them anywhere. Right. And between the six of us, we've shown that in a variety of locations. So, and your home is your home, and that's your rules and your comfort zone. And if it doesn't feel comfortable you to do it there, don't. Yeah. Right. But if you do it and it's for research purposes, like what we started doing, then it's kind of like you have to figure out a way to make it work, because you don't, where else are you going to do it that frequently?
Exactly. And a lot of it has to do too with your intent and your energy and your mental state. If you're positive and you're looking for positive results, chances are you're going to get positive results. If you're angry, upset, bitter, and looking for drawing that, then you might get that. But like I said, we've never had a concern.
Yeah, I think the scariest day.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I was going to say the scariest day part of it he's referring to, I think, is that there's a fear, and this is probably very cinematically born, that once you turn it on, oh my God, there's no off switch for this. How do I stop it? I think that's part of, you have a haunting, but we've not found it to be the case collectively in all of our stuff.
And then, I didn't, just to answer his question, I'm sorry, Chris, it was someone's question. We didn't recognize that voice with Punk. I didn't recognize it.
Oh.
I was wondering who said
Todd and
Pumpkin's
Carmela, of
name.
course.
I was wondering, and it's a female, right? Was it female?
It
voice?
sounds like it. Todd and Carmela are two of the most astute listeners we've had at any events we do. They're spot on.
Does it sound like your mom? You think
it could? I don't. You know what?
Yeah.
It could have been my mother, my grandmother, and I mean, I don't. I'd have to listen to it. I'm not sure if there's enough characteristically for me to identify it. But I think between what Chris and Tony said collectively about that happening at all, that was the part that wowed me.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you, Chris.
Yeah, you're okay. And me too. Ash, to add to your question a little bit, Audra and I do not do it at home. Not because we're worried about negativity coming through, because, I mean, in all the years that I've been investigating and Audra's been investigating with me, I mean, we've come across maybe one or two negative things that could have easily been cleansed out of the locations that we were in. So it wasn't like demonic like you see on TV in some of the shows. The reason we don't do it is I'm a very light sleeper. And on top of that, I'm a very light sleeper because of my arthritis. And with what we can pick up outside of Staticom, I can't imagine how much sleep I would lose on top of what I already lose if spirits are trying to communicate. We're not worried about negativity. We just don't want to be able to feel it sitting here. We want.
I don't want to host that many people in my house.
That's right.
I hear you.
Unless you like Coke and Doritos, yawn about it.
The beverage, right? The beverage.
But yeah, the beverage.
You don't want orange powder and white powder.
That's right. The beverage, since Ash is a detective in North Carolina. I'm just kidding. We personally don't do it at home so we can sleep at night and we're not bothered so we can relax. It's not because we're afraid of anything negative. I don't believe negativity. I'm not going to say I don't believe it doesn't exist. I think it's very rare.
And since you're both very, very sensitive, that may be good because you're home. So if you're so sensitive, they'll find you easier. And then that's true. They may not want to go, not because they're bad, but just because like, come on, so,
Yeah,
I guess
you'll have some ghost singing, I'm Henry the Eighth.
I am. Henry the Eighth. I am. Patrick Swayze shows up. I'm whooping his ass. I don't care what he did in Roadhouse. He's not that tough.
But dance with him first before you.
Yeah. Nobody puts Christoph in the corner. I sleep like a brick. Come on, let's I sleep for like you, Chris. Yeah.
So, guys, I'm such a light sleeper. If a mouth farts on the opposite side of the house, I wake up. Literally. Audra snores, I wake up.
So she wins.
She wins. All right, we got 4 or 5 more pieces. Yes, home is our safe place. And we do bless the house and sage it. And there's a barrier outside. Just not that we want to keep negative stuff out. We just want this to be, this is where we relax and shut off. Except on Monday nights. We're gonna.
No pottery making with that.
No. New. No pottery making. I feel man hands reaching around me and somebody's getting knocked out.
Using Whoopi's body. He would be using Whoopi's body,
Ooh. I don't know what's worse, man hands or Whoopi.
I want Patrick. Yeah.
Patrick's a little bit more feminine than Whoopi.
Making Whoopi.
Making Whoopi. There goes the train right off the tracks again.
Yep.
Derailed.
I derailed it. Apologies.
That's all right. Just a little spirit hug. No, that's all right. All right. So the next one is No Cops. This is from Montgomery House too, isn't it?
Yeah. It is. And this one just rocks.
Yeah. This
is a good one.
All right. So here we go.
What's your favorite part of this house? What room?
It's so clear.
That's ridiculous.
The problem is Ash wants to bring his friends down, and she just said no cops.
Sorry.
Damn it.
Oh,
No, bring them. See what you can get.
Bring them down, Ash.
yeah.
Incredible response. And, you know, I was expecting them to pick a room because that's what you asked. What's your favorite part of the house?
Right.
But it,
Yeah.
you know, it wasn't the library, wasn't the dining room. It was house has safety, children can play, no cops. That I just think that is, it's just an answer I would have never even have thought of, but clearly that was their answer. That's what they liked about the house, and it makes perfect sense with how far out it was, where it was located, the amount of land. That's incredible.
Yeah.
No, Ash, there's not gonna be a problem with Mrs. Montgomery. She doesn't like everybody. The only person she liked was Everett. For some reason, she likes Everett a lot.
Yeah, that answer had cohesion too. The whole message was on theme.
Right.
It wasn't like random words that were just, you know.
No, each individual sentence, obviously the words flowed, but each sentence also flowed together. So it was a thought process. It showed intelligence.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's funny. Or the mean Italian said it. Yeah.
That's right.
That's funny. All right. So next one, NOLA silent man, no protection F.
Oh yeah, no protection from evil. This is when we were down in New Orleans and we did like 4 locations in a couple nights with the New Orleans Paranormal Society.
Yeah, 2 nights.
And this was with Chris Talley. It was Jen and Chris Talley who run the tours down there. Very nice couple. Really cool locations they have.
Yeah.
And Chris was talking about, the context was, he was talking about a location and he had some kind of dark demonic thing he thought. He was looking to get rid of it. He had I guess they had confrontations in the location with whatever's there before.
Were we in the in the coven or the?
We were in the
high priestess.
In the little house behind that store.
I know. It was with the 2 gentlemen?
No.
So then it was the high priestess.
The high priestess, yeah.
Okay.
And so he was talking about that location and that whole interaction with this dark thing. And then a voice said something and she told him that it says, hey, you know, silence, like whatever. And he goes, oh yeah, knows I'm coming. And he talked about his thing being blessed. So whatever is hearing us is talking to him about his protection and his plan.
Yeah.
And it also kind of comments on me because one of my recorders filled up and stopped recording.
Oh, wow. All right. So here we go.
I care about energy that has the ability to influence your dream state, has the ability to influence you as a person.
Silent the man. I heard silent the man. I'm just saying because you're talking about that.
Yeah,
I heard silent the man. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, it knows I'm coming for it. It knows. It knows. That's why this stuff I'm wearing has all been blessed. And so
What'd you hear?
they are no protection.
That's what you heard?
Jesus Christ says something different.
That's right.
So
let me look at a timestamp.
Yeah, so you can see better. But yeah, I hear you.
That one's at 37 minutes. Oh, and this one stopped recording because of the card's full. I have to empty the card in this one.
So we've already been into one house in which an incubus attacked a woman. That's
Oh, great.
I know. Oh, great. He got scolded.
Yeah.
It's like the guy's going, we're spending all this time talking, the fucker's not even recording us.
Always 2 devices recording, but one of them, the card filled.
That's awesome.
And they commented on it, which I thought was funny.
That is hilarious.
That's incredible.
Yeah, he was talking about they were gonna go to a house and clean it and try to help. They think it was some demonic or very, very negative entity in the house, and that he was gonna go help the family. So that's what he was talking about.
Interesting.
And they said that he was talking about the beads that he wears,
Yeah.
which I think I hear like classic beads or something in there, but it's too, like muddy. But I think it's in there.
But even that one section that is, it's responding to you. So talk about timing, relevance.
Oh, yeah.
Intelligence.
Oh, great. Check your equipment.
Oh, great. Check your equipment.
Yeah.
I mean, it heard you talking about your equipment being full and not recording.
Yeah, because it went completely off topic from the stuff it was saying about him. And then it went back when saying, if it happens, leave.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
You're not protected. You're a schmuck. You're not.
I'm trying to warn this guy here, and you're not even recording it, damn it. That's awesome. All right. So this next one, is this yours, Tony? Energy of your mind?
Yeah.
Which I love this one.
It's another one. This is another one.
All right, here we go. Was this at home?
Yep.
I can tell by the picture. It looks like your desk. All right, here we go.
Can you say Tony? Did you just say Rathman? Yep. So you know who I am. Can I know who you are? Yes, sir. Thank you. Who am I speaking to? How many spirits are with me right now? Let's say 8. How many spirits are with me right now? A lot? Where are you at right now? How do you hear me speak? How do you hear me when I speak to you? Did you say they're dead? Yes. So you were once alive like me. Yes. So are you on this planet as well? Right, if I'm really speaking to people who had passed away from this planet, can you say hello, spirits? Sorry, you like being called spirits. Yep. Okay.
Sorry, I didn't realize I attached the 4-minute
version.
full conversation version. I thought
That's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
It was good. It was
None of us are complaining. That's awesome.
No.
What
I
was
gotta tell you, it says Harold Patter. She does this to me every show. It goes Harold Patter, and Audrey leans over and goes, Harry Potter. What?
So we used to joke around about Chip Patton and Harold Patter ever since he got that. And
if you watch,
yep, go ahead. You say
you watch real closely in the documents to the Staticom docuseries, Harold Patter and
Chip Patton
are listed as audio something in the document.
Yeah. In the credits. He put them in the credits of the docuseries on PowerPlay. Yeah.
You know what I'm waiting for? I'm waiting for the day you get a Staticom response when you go, can you say Tony Rathman? And one of them goes, are you not listening?
I've had him say we did. Had it already.
You keep asking.
I keep asking it.
Oh boy.
What was the thing he said? Did he say, were you alive like me or something? And then it says it's like portage.
Porridge.
No, not porridge.
Oh, I thought it was porridge.
Portage.
Oh, portage.
Yeah.
I'm the oldest time. I thought it was
No, that's a whole different story.
This is too hot. This is too cold.
Right. You know, and some Karen comes in and calls the wicked witch.
That's why I would laugh every time because like they want porridge.
Yeah, the wolf has a lawsuit. It's a long story. Humpty Dumpty falls down.
Eyes you have.
That's right.
Oh my god. Okay.
That bed that was too soft screwed up my back. This is bullshit.
Well, because I was like, I can't remember. So I looked. So portage could mean a transmission or a conveyance.
Right.
Dispatch. So I mean, it's interesting that's why I was trying to remember if that's what he asked before. Then if they were alive like him before, and it said it's like portage.
Or a slang reference to going from one place to another.
Well, or going from this life to the afterlife is how
Yeah,
that would be like transmission distribution.
There you
go. I looked it up just to see. I got a feeling that has something to do with the like it's a response. It's not just a word. They didn't just say something.
Correct. And that's one of the most fascinating things about Staticom is that I think I've heard over the years, all of us say, oh my God, I didn't even know what that word was. I had to look it up. That's happened to us. I know it's happened to you guys. And all of a sudden you realize that what you've been told makes sense from a contextual standpoint, from an information standpoint. And you're like, oh my God, I didn't even know that.
Right.
If you stop and think about it, if you truly believe that we are energy once we leave this body, right? And they go from one realm to another, or they transfer from one place to another. It is a transference of energy, which would be your definition of portage.
Right.
Yeah. Everything in the cosmos is energy. And to further what Tony was saying, because he makes a really, really good point, that also takes off, and every so often I'll be having this discussion with somebody that takes the whole PK that you're the one transmitting the message through the device or mechanism out of the equation.
Correct.
Because we had, remember that one that said there is a trees, which is a sad situation.
Yeah.
I didn't even know the word trees before
We had to
that
look
happened.
it up.
Right.
So how am I the source of what's coming through my own PK, putting it out there and coming back to me if I don't know the word?
Right. You're
now,
not.
if you attribute that to unitary consciousness and go, well, you're the source because you got it from unitary consciousness. Well, that doesn't make me the source. That makes consciousness the source. That makes me the transceiver through which it flowed. If it was something that I knew you could attribute to me, then my self-egoic experience that I reflect on in my reality would have had that. I did not know it.
Right.
Right.
Good point. Great.
Because if you take that as an explanation off the table, then that would say that at any given time, in any given situation, we all know everything because it's all available to us through unitary consciousness.
Right. Or a matrix download of a thesaurus. One of the two.
Right.
Right.
Good point, Melissa. And that's so true.
Yep, that was that Konstantin Radovich said that he wondered if it doesn't seem like what we're doing is tantamount to wire.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Put the glass against the wall, dude.
Yeah.
Pioneer of EVP and ITC, Konstantin Radovich.
And I don't know if you and Lourdes had this when you started DRV, but I know our first connections via DRV, we heard them say, "Oh my God, they can hear us."
Yeah,
they were shocked the fact that we could respond to them.
Yeah,
and that to me was incredible. He can hear us.
When we first started, and this is without the cleaning up of the white noise and all of that.
No real time filtration.
We was doing the boombox radio, just playing the radio on a Baron station, white noise, whatever. And remember that one that we got? Hear me, hear me, hear me. He kept saying it. Hear me, hear me. It was like 20 times.
Yeah, there was no echo or reverb in play at all. It was just the radio. It was a repetition of hear me, hear me.
He just kept saying it.
Wow.
If you think about it, some of the evidence that you guys have showed tonight is like different levels of consciousness, where you've got one guy going, "Look at me," because he's in the room with you, but he doesn't realize that you can't see him. And then you've got other ones where, "Oh my God, they can hear us," where they have a consciousness where they know that they are at a point in state of energy where you can't see them and they're not on your plane. So you've got different points of consciousness from spirit to spirit.
Well, if you look at all the technology that was used throughout the years to communicate, it's evolved, and Staticom is evolving it even further. But for them to be able to get that level of almost what I guess I would term as almost instantaneous conversation back and forth, they're probably not used to that. Right. At least, I don't know how many different beings lived on this planet prior to humans, but at least in human terms of time frame, DRV spirit boxes do work, don't get me wrong, but that level for them to be able to go like, "Oh my gosh, I just said that, he just heard it." Like when that one guy said Richie, and I said, "Did someone just say Richie?" He's like, "Oh shit, I'm scared when I talk. I feel so silly." That was his reaction to him realizing I heard what he said.
Well, it almost makes you wonder if you're picking up, like you got the guy that says, "Look at me," where he's in the room. And it almost makes you wonder if Staticom's crossing over and picking up conversations that are not in the current area of where you're at. So you got the one guy in the room saying, "Look at me," and then you've got other ones going, "Oh my God, they can hear us." Like, we're not even there. How the fuck are they picking us up?
No doubt about that. And I like the way Ron always expresses this, but there is can't think of the term. The whole time space relevant thing.
Oh, no linear time and spirit in the realm of spirit.
Correct. Or spatial. So, and we've proven that doing lives with Staticom, where Chris, you wrote a word out, Ron's running the machine, we're asking questions, and we told them to go look at what you wrote. They went, looked, came back to Ron's machine, answered so that we all could hear it.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't exist. So they do have that.
Yeah, but it's a non-locality.
Non-locality, but it's also the whole point of what Ron was saying. You can't call a place haunted based on the fact that you get voices, because they're not confined to a location. They can communicate from anywhere.
Yeah,
at least that's what I believe.
Yeah, it's possible. So to answer, both Antoine and then Roger had said something also about traversing time. So dimensional rift, possible. The problem with some of that stuff theoretically is even like with string theory, right? It's these oscillating strings that are between dimensions, and it can, you can communicate or whatever, can happen. That's, beyond, I guess, what we know scientifically or in physics. This is a quantum physics thing. But when those kind of things come up theoretically, the one question that gets dodged or we haven't really heard an answer to is, what exactly are those strings?
Right.
That's really never been clarified. So a lot of times this is a continuity of thought thing. This is it's a philosophical issue. Is when you have a theoretical idea like that, like string theory, you put the picture together and you explain methodologically how something could happen, and then it has properties of some kind of material physics because you have these oscillating strings. But nobody knows or can substantiate what are those? What are the strings? From where did they come? Of what substance is it made?
Well, and to believe it's a dimensional rift too, a dimensional rift is an opening.
Right.
So Staticom would have to know where that opening's at, and there's no directional sense with Staticom. It's just playing.
Right. And the other thing about that's a good point, but the other thing about Staticom is I've never turned it on, and I'm sure Ron and Lourdes have never experienced this either, and not had voices there. So you can say, you can try to facilitate that there's some sort of dimensional rift, but in my opinion, they are here and around us all the time, 24 hours a day. And I don't know how broadband white noise does it, but because it's probably every sound in the spectrum, it somehow has the ability, the energy, and the what was the other thing?
Frequency.
Frequency. Thank you.
And vibration.
To
Tony Rapp docuseries. Watch it.
Yes. Well, and then that also includes the theory that they believe that the dimensions are parallel.
Right.
Yeah. And if they're not confined to time or space or dimensional locality, why couldn't they switch?
Well, if they're energy, they could.
Exactly. My point exactly.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know the answer to it, and that's the big, scientific method is to rule out all possibilities and lean into what would be most probable. But that's to assume that we know what all possibilities could be.
Correct.
And I don't believe that we do.
No, we don't. We know we don't. But yeah.
I've said it before, and I'll say it in the past. We will eventually know. But once we know, then it's up to us to try and communicate it across to prove those theories.
Yeah, and that may be why Konstantin Radovich came through to George Meek, to Mark Macy on verifiable calls and communications to answer Roger's question too, traversing time space. That's part of what we're trying to figure out, because we don't think there is a traversing of time space, especially if communication is happening through unitary consciousness, of which we are localized manifestations or alters of, then everything is, like Tony said, with spirit, is around us. So it doesn't have to traverse time. It gives off what appears to be superluminal contact, which is faster than the speed of light because it's instantaneous. But that's because theoretically it may not be traversing any distance. It may already be on the outside of the periphery of knowledge.
And there's probably no time for them because that's a man-made construct. So
that's right.
And who knows, our physical bodies might be creating an insulator that prevents us from communicating with them and seeing them. And
no doubt about that.
Maybe that's why people with the metaphysical abilities, they're above and beyond that insulation, or can reach through the insulation, and that's why they can see, hear, and feel.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Bill Murphy from Fact or Fake is doing some brilliant research on what's called torsion fields, which is the ability of the body to conduct and carry those electromagnetic signals, which could be part of explaining the connection to the chakras, the third eye, the electromagnetic capability of us to plug in and communicate, not just through the transceiver of brain. It's fascinating. I read he sent me one of his papers. So I don't know if he has it published for people to read, but really, really interesting. I mentioned it, I think, in the last book, just that he was doing that kind of research, and it's worth taking a little bit of a deep dive into, because it is an element of something that we don't have the answer to. And so all these different possibilities being explored is important. Again, the continuity of thought thing is what leads us, I think, to new discoveries a lot of times. When we think something through and we stop at the axiom and we just accept it, that's where research and growth stops.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because that was always my question when people go, well, what's the frequency the ghosts are on? Do you know what frequency they're on? I don't think there's a ghost frequency. And if you're going to say they don't have time, space, linear, then we have it. Frequency for us is what? Oscillations per second. So the measure can't be the same unit of measure if they don't even have time the way that we. It has to be something more along what Tony explains with energy and vibration, perhaps, not necessarily frequency. And even that, it's we don't have a glimpse into the source.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know how they do it.
That's a possibility.
It is, or if the vocals were able to pass, I guess the term easily is what stands out to me. But if it was able to pass easily, then no one would ever dismiss spirit communication. So I don't think it happens easily. I think it takes the right combination of either environmental effects situations or electronic, in the case of Staticom, to be able to create those variables. And that's what I think allows them the ability to do it, which then makes it easier for them. But yeah, but it can occur in nature as well. I mean, it absolutely can.
What Roger is saying, maybe their communication is produced easily. It's just we don't receive it easily.
And that may be the case. I mean,
yeah, that's a great point. And the way Chris summed it up is perfect, because if you want a real life, non-metaphysical explanation that matches that, terrestrial radio. It's around us. It's produced easily. They do it at stations. We don't hear it. We don't experience radio until we use some mechanism that modulates the sound, puts it within which we can hear and access that information. Boom, now we hear radio.
Yep. Well, that's an excellent point. And, everyone always says, the phrase axiom, I guess, in this case, but saying that the layer between life and death is a thin veil. Yeah. Well, to me, that thin veil is this body. Our hearing drops off at 20 hertz and 20 kilohertz. Our eyesight sees visual light only, does not see full spectrum, does not see infrared. There are more light spectrums we don't see than the one we see. There are many more variables of hearing than what we can hear. It is our own human body to give us that human experience that is the barrier between life and death.
This is a year-end show. This is why I love the people you see, because that man and those women and this woman are brilliant, and I am honored to work with all of you. That was perfect what he just said, because that also is not only statistically something you can vet from a material point of view, even with modern physics, but that also even speaks to a very highly provable philosophical point. Right? When we talk about what our experience and our reality, which is the only thing we can know, is our awareness or our reality. Within your psyche, your self-egoic experience, you'll have certain things that through sensory input you'll experience, and some things you won't. If you go outside, thanks, Antoine. When you go outside during the day, stars in the night sky, to Tony's point about the physical veil being the actual veil, the night stars that you experience at night are still there when you go out during the day. But your sensory input, which your reflective experience, is obfuscating those things because of the lights and the sun and the noise. And so you're not experiencing those things. It doesn't mean they're not there.
Right.
So your brain is a transceiver, and it's getting information that, when I say self-egoic or reflective, those are the things that you focus on, and those are the things that are repeated over and over again in your psyche, and those are what your reality is at the given time. So it doesn't mean when you dial into 92.5 FM that the rest of the frequency band is not there. It means that your experience is that. And when Tony likened it to the veil,
yep,
there it is. And there's your correlation to it from a philosophical and a physical point. Perfect. Love that.
Awesome. Damn, do we end this shit good or what? That's right, y'all. All right, we got 2 more clips. Your instrument, bad connection. That no pun intended, right?
No, this is when we built out Staticom from direct radio voice. I started on
I know. Well, it's like check your equipment.
Yeah. Well, I started out on a Windows Surface tablet computer, which is a glorified tablet, and it's a great machine. But it became to the point when we were running Staticom that 98, 97, 96%, 99 of all the resources of the computer were being used. And the sound started to skip and buffer. And I had to get a new computer and I get everything back up and running again. And I would not have been able to do that without throwing myself off the bridge with the laptop if it had not been for the help of Tony Rathman. He talked me off of the ledge probably more than once during a 2-week period. trying to get it back up to speed. And then I made an advancement on it a couple of days later that I shared with him. And he goes, "Thanks so much." I went, "I couldn't have done it if you didn't help me."
Well, you know what? That worked both ways, though. If we're ever on that ledge together, we're done.
We're done.
Just jump.
Just jump because we're both going over.
Yeah. No, that's true. It has not happened at the same time. So this was a night that I was able to correct it, this clip. But before I corrected it, you hear it skipping and then we got it working temporarily, and I freed up some resources, and then we asked the spirits what happened to us, and then they commented exactly on what was going on.
All right, so here we go.
Good stuff.
Maybe they're trying to connect, and since it's through another.
I'll let it play out for a minute.
I'm gonna message her now. If that's you trying to connect to Tony and Cherie, please keep doing your thing then.
What happened here? What happened to us? Sorry about that.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Just awesome. Intelligence.
Bad connection.
No, the question, the response to it, the intelligence, the fact that they were aware that his instrument, meaning Staticom or DRV, whatever that was, Staticom, I believe, knew there was pulsing going on, that it wasn't working correctly. Yeah. I mean, that coming from a disembodied intelligence, incredible. Just
it's incredible.
Yeah, that when I heard that, I was like, I apologize. I was sorry about that.
Sorry.
Because I heard it, I was like, wow.
Yeah, exactly.
I said, what happened to us? And they said it. I mean, that's.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Chad.
That directly contributes to the intelligence part of that is they knew what was wrong. They knew the communication, the device that they were using to communicate with Ron and Lourdes was not working.
Yeah.
They gave him a WTF moment.
Yeah.
It's like when Audra and I are talking and the phone breaks up. We blame each other for bad signals. It's your phone. No, it's my phone. No, it's your phone.
That's awesome.
It's funny.
Just 17 more clips. Wow, Wes Coleman, he's awesome.
Hi, Wes.
And it could be some interdimensionary being, not necessarily a spirit. That's true. Spirit could be interdimensional beings. It could be spirits, jinn, extraterrestrial. We don't know. If you can make some kind of a caller ID or to the spirit world, that's where your fortune lies in the paranormal, because we don't have the ability to trace the call or the communication back. Now, there are historically, and I think in DRV throughout Europe, there are communications that have said that they are at a station, and it's called Time Stream or Rio do Tempo, which I know Dr. Cardoso communicates with. And then there are certain specifics that give, but again, you can't know the whole other side of it.
So I have one for you, and this will be a cool Monday night show when you guys finally figure it out. So the challenge for 2024 is a star 69 option on Staticom.
Star 69.
Yeah. It doesn't work with the living.
It doesn't work on
you. Call them, then they call you, then you call them, then they call you. That's why they call it star 69. You're both screwed.
Or if you call them and they don't call you back, it's a 68. I did you owe me one.
Let me tell you, Todd and Carmela would be there if we did pull an all-nighter and we showed like 75 more clips.
Man.
When I was running that Staticom live, I was just trying to get stuff worked out, and I was having trouble making the whatever sound right, and and I got it working, and he was there. Like I had to put him to bed basically through Staticom.
We take a collect call, maybe.
I'm gonna say no, though. I don't know. That's expensive.
Now it's funny, Roger.
That would be awesome.
Maybe at the beginning of each session, you could ask how well the receiver. That's Nashova. That's a great question, and actually, that is something we've done sometimes. Ago, we ask how they can hear us. We ask if they can hear us. That's a really good, and that's good that you brought it up because that's a good teaching point. I think Tony, you guys do that also, right? You open sessions all the time. You'll ask if the contact is clear. Can they hear you okay?
Yeah, and we ask how they're hearing us, and that was the answer to it. I didn't realize I played the long version, but energy of your mind.
What kind of response you guys would get if you asked, what can we do to hear you more clearly?
We have asked for technical advice.
Yeah.
Usually how that works at Mifflin. Yeah, Wes, we should do it at Fort Mifflin. We're looking forward to working with you this year anyway. We should do it at Fort Mifflin when you're there. You know what I wanted to say earlier? One of my favorite moments in DRV Staticom in the 6 years, almost whatever, so we're doing this, was when Tony called up and he goes, this is the first time this has ever happened to me before. I went, what happened? He goes, they asked me a question. And I was like,
7-minute conversation. And I wasn't asking the questions. And yes, Ron's exactly right. It was the one, go to my YouTube channel, Entity Voices Paranormal Investigation. It's called Treasure. And it's like 7 minutes long. And they're asking me to help them and find this treasure. And there may have been some conversation after that, but I didn't post any of that for some reason.
Because Tony wants to find the flipping treasure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's got 75 metal detectors.
That's right.
That's not what those are for.
Yeah.
Tony's got more metal detectors than paranormal equipment. That's a lot.
Cherie lost some paper clips. I was trying to help her out.
Hey, when it takes you longer to unload your metal detectors than it does to unload your paranormal equipment, and it takes forever to help Tony unload his paranormal equipment.
Believe it or not, I think we have more paranormal. Well, I know we do, but we've probably got 10 or 11 detectors now.
Yeah, 10.
We got quite a few.
Wow.
From whites.
In case one doesn't work or what?
Well, I mean, like whites, I have 3 whites, top of the line whites, but whites doesn't even exist anymore.
Right.
So when we upgraded last time, we went to Mind Lab, which very nice. But then there's this new company. Oh, sorry, I'm getting way off track. We got a lot of metal detectors.
Now it's ecstatic com.
Yeah.
Ecstatic-com. All right, we have one more clip. And this is
Uncle
the clip.
Giuseppe's request.
Oh,
yes, and it's a good request.
It's a good request.
Yep.
This is a location that is very near and dear to our hearts. I've never missed an abandoned hospital in my life as much as I've missed this one. And I've been in a lot of hospitals, y'all. I've never missed a hospital like I missed this hospital. This is the Phelps Dodge Mining Hospital in Ajo, Arizona. And this is the very last investigation ever done in the hospital before it was sold and closed off and not allowed to do any more investigations in anymore. The new owners can kiss my ass. You guys suck.
We never got to go because of that. We were 2
Yeah.
weeks away from booking a ticket, if that. We were about to book it, and then we ended up doing the 4-mansion tour with them coming here, but we were about to go to Ajo.
Right.
Absolutely.
I am very happy for the ex-owner because if anybody deserved to sell that place, that man did.
Yeah,
He
did.
literally almost died for that hospital.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
But the new owners,
What is it?
yeah. What is that?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Anyway, here is the last and the best clip. We have seen this multiple times with our own eyes. Tony finally caught it on camera.
Yeah.
Tony and Cherie. Sorry, Cherie. Tony and Cherie finally caught this. You got to give Cherie credit if she slept in that damn hospital that night.
It's not Staticom evidence. It's not Staticom.
No. There you go, Roger. The new owners can suck it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was my what the F moment when I watched, because I didn't see this with my own eyes. It was captured on the cameras.
I tell you what, though, for the Phelps Dodge Mining Hospital, this is the coup de grace.
Yeah.
This is the best visual evidence of an autonomous entity navigating any place that I've seen. And I'm not saying there isn't anything better. I'm just saying if there is, I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
And you guys were sleeping, right, when it was captured, right?
Absolutely. We have the other camera showing, and they're time stamped. You can see that we're all asleep. This was something like 5:50 a.m. or 5:55, just before 6. Sun had just come up.
And for everybody watching, let me give you a concept. We have done Trans-Allegheny twice. Noted as one of the most haunted hospitals in the world, Trans-Allegheny. We didn't catch in 2 investigations the amount of evidence we would catch in 2 investigations at the hospital, at the Phelps Dodge Mining Hospital. This was my most, in the 20 odd years that I've been investigating, this is my favorite, absolute favorite location. So here we go.
So good.
That's insane.
So good.
Fantastic. That location.
Crazy.
Oh,
it is crazy. It's mind blowing. It walks towards like the camera.
Stops, turns, looks 3-dimensional to me. I mean, shadows don't usually leave the wall. This thing went from the light into the darkest part of the hallway. The only light was coming through the windows. This was 2nd floor, so even somebody outside couldn't have cast a shadow into the hallway, let alone taking their shadow off the wall. This thing, it's crazy.
No,
and then it got his buddy.
To give you all a concept, that's facing down on this side. On the left side of the hall, looking in that direction, is the X-ray room. On the right side of the hall is the surgery room, the major surgery room. There's a glass block window that's probably 6 foot by, now it's more like 8 foot by 6 foot wide on the surgery wall. That glass block window is approximately 32 feet above ground level.
Yeah.
On the opposite side, all those windows were covered with black construction paper. How do I know that? I did it.
Right.
So there's no light coming in from the south. The north is to the right.
Correct.
So 32 feet, minimum 32 feet. It was the 3rd story from that side of the building.
Yeah.
And each story is approximately 10 to 11 to 12 feet tall, depending on the specs of the building. So you're talking a minimum of 30 feet. And then that window was approximately 2.5 feet above the floor. So you're talking 32 to 33 feet above ground level.
Right.
Not possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not possible.
That's just insane. That
it really is.
That video is insane. It would do it a huge disservice to have arrows and circles and any of that stuff. It tells you where you're supposed to look, because if you're not seeing that,
right in the middle of the screen.
If you're not seeing it on that, you're in the wrong field.
It's hard to catch one, and that's great. And you caught two.
Well, that was the second shocker. As I'm watching the first one wander through the hall, and then it disappears, and then I see it go across, and then another one, smaller one, little rounder.
I know.
I'm like, there's two. There's two.
The Phelps Dodge Mining Hospital is the only location I've ever investigated where, as a metaphysical person, as a paranormal investigator, as a situational awareness, data-based, fact-driven, give me evidence or don't give me shit type of investigator, all those combinations, I experienced every level of investigating that I could possibly experience in that hospial.
Yeah, I miss that location.
And
it's a shame.
And when Tony first showed it to us, he mentioned, I think this bears mentioning because I think it has somewhat of an intent aspect to it, but not his necessarily. That was the last night that he was allowed in that facility.
Right. And did not know that at the time.
Right.
But they probably did.
But
that's what Cherie said. Yeah. She goes, you know what? They let us have proof because they knew we were done.
Yeah.
And we, 3 years, 4, however long we ran it?
I think 3 years.
3,
Chris?
yeah.
Audra, 3 years.
Well, we had it before they came in, but
yeah, you guys were running about 6 months prior to us joining.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And this is like 3 weeks prior to knowing that the hospital has been sold.
Right.
Yes. That video took place after we moved to North Carolina in August of 2020.
Right.
Correct. And then we found out a couple weeks later that we were
It's probably saying a bye-bye to us.
That's what the thought process was.
And you want to talk about a location, didn't matter what time of day, you got the same activity.
Right.
Activity would nonstop, doesn't matter what time of day. I have evidence from 10:30 in the morning till 3 a.m. at night to insane amount of activity in that place.
Why do I have this vision of Tony like what's his face from Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise, being airlifted into the Phelps Dodge with Saturn just to see what happens.
Yeah.
Because the last time Chris checked the roof, all I would need to do is I wouldn't even be airlifted. Well,
no, you could drop it back in.
Right in, yeah. Because the roof's like gone.
Wow.
So Chris doesn't get afraid of much. When I went up on that roof the last time, I was scared to walk across that roof. I literally thought I was going to fall through that fucking thing. It was bad.
Yeah.
I would almost venture to say at this point with the monsoons that they have in Arizona that I wouldn't be surprised if that roof was already collapsed at this point.
We haven't been down there. Have we even been?
No.
We never even went back down there,
No,
did
we
we?
didn't.
So yeah, you're probably right, Chris.
Yeah.
Maybe one of these days.
Yeah.
That is a perfect piece to end any show or anything with, because that is the best piece of video evidence I've ever seen. And again, I haven't seen everything, but I'm not wet behind the ears with this stuff either. I've seen a lot of videos and photos, and that's amazing.
Like I said, when I checked the other cameras running, because every camera we had running throughout the hospital all went to a
DVR.
I'm going to screw this up. DVR. Thank you. I almost said DRV. To a DVR recorder, including a FLIR camera. And like I said, when you're switching through the multi-cameras, you can see this happening here, and you can see all three of us, Cherie, myself, and my son, Dylan, fast asleep, not moving, clear as can be, and you see it going up here on the other camera square layout. So that just blew my mind.
Phenomenal.
Imagine if this stuff was real.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, the show. That's anything clear. Yeah, I haven't seen anything that clear either.
A shadow figure. That's the clearest
I have
I've
a
ever seen.
photo of a shadow figure from the Queen Mary, and it's a very impressive photo by the engine room of a shadow figure in the door, like a Grim Reaper, and that wowed me. And when I saw this video of those things walking around, I was like,
well, like Chris said, we would spot these walking down the halls. We even got pictures. Chris is like, take a picture, Tony, right there. Just snap it. It's standing, and I didn't see it, but and it would show up in the picture. But when I saw this come across the camera, the hallway, I was like, oh my God.
you know what?
Joan. Hi,
First of all,
Joan.
Joan is awesome. We know her from she lived up by New York. I think she's in North Carolina now.
Oh, yeah, I told you about the Montgomery
Yeah,
house.
so
I
she
did.
would love Montgomery. We would love to work with you. If you can work with Chris and Audra, Joan, you would love it. Trust me.
Yeah, I already recommended them.
Yep. and you know what? It's the last show of the year. We're not coming back until what, April 25th?
Yeah. What's tax day again? What is that? No, we'll be back January 8th. But yes, I will show that again before we close out.
Grace will kill us.
I'm like, April 25th.
I know. Like, what?
I say who's paying attention. I want to do an episode where we show how many clips we have of every different method we use, probably mostly Statacom stuff, but EVPs or whatever, saying Tony Rathman.
Yeah.
How many times?
Oh, Google Maps shows.
I don't know. Look at the date on that, Scott. That could have been back when I was climbing on
could
it.
have been 2020.
Right.
It could have been when I was climbing on it.
Roger will be signed in Monday, waiting for April 25th.
5 more months and it starts.
I can't wait to work with him too. He's awesome.
He's great.
Yeah, Roger's a good dude. All right, so here's that clip one more time.
Mind blowing.
That's just ridiculous. And you know, there's going to be at some point some schmuck somewhere, somehow, with a YouTube channel and a dream and a flashlight going, I can recreate it. It's a hoax. Look, the dog knows. There's no way. There's no way. Tony Rathman has got more integrity than most people in the field probably will ever know.
Thank
his
you.
work is spot on. There's no way he would have faked it. He's got timestamps to prove it. That's
Correct.
That is the line between when people go, do you believe in this stuff? We believe in data. That's video capture, and that's unbelievable.
We have a FLIR running, which was also we hooked it up, found a way to hook it up to the
DVR.
I know it's
DVR. I always wanted to say the other.
TiVo. TiVo.
It did.
Already.
Yeah, it did not show up on the FLIR, which is just the
No heat
craziest thing. But there was not even a disturbance on the FLIR. Nothing.
We did.
We did. Never heard a word.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, we know of
Susan.
Susan.
We know the other girl.
Yeah, I can't remember her name.
Okay, then I won't give my opinion.
Give your opinion.
I've seen the show. They don't they don't allow people to put on real paranormal evidence.
Oh, okay.
So we have to talk to Susan. Nick, what's her name?
You need to watch the show a few times. Some of the clips are just...
No, I think Ron said it perfectly. We just need to reenact it.
Yeah.
With a plan.
Hey, send them a clip of the Loch Ness Monster swimming through the lake in Surprise Park.
That's
And
right.
they'll put that on.
Okay.
Now.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I mean,
He
that
told me to give my opinion.
No, I did. I absolutely did.
And for the record, for the end of your show, I've gotten 3 eye rolls.
I saw 2 of them. I missed the last one, but I saw 2 of them.
Okay, 2 eye rolls and a now.
And a now.
Yeah. Bow, chicken, now.
And a now.
Oh, bless your heart.
Bless your heart. Yeah.
No.
Bless your heart.
Yeah, that wasn't a southern now. That was a...
No, it's good that we did this type of show. It's good we did a long, I think, year-end show because we'll have a couple weeks off. This has been a source of happiness for me for the 3 years or so we've been doing this on whatever night of the week it's on, because I get to spend it with you guys, and so, and then that includes everybody who watches, the people who show up every week. That's just awesome that you do that.
Is that show still on, the Ozzy Osbourne show?
They haven't done a new one in a while.
Because I think, honestly, they may put it on, and I think Ozzy Osbourne will be really I think it's better than
Jack
Paranormal
Osbourne
Corner
would probably
Camera.
like that. Yeah.
If you guys want a more pure response to a paranormal clip, send it to Ozzy Osbourne. That I love watching that show because he just doesn't.
The Osbournes want to.
Yeah, I like it. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
So, yes, and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to all.
Everybody have a fantastic.
Thank you guys for sticking with us for almost an hour and a half tonight.
Hour.
Hour and a half.
Try again.
2.5.
There you go.
That's why I'm getting the now.
Yep.
We appreciate it, but what better way to end the year with EVPE than a 2.5 hour show showing some of our clips? I mean,
Special treat.
Special treat.
It was great. I have one. It was great.
Yeah, it was a fun show.
I love watching everybody's stuff.
It was.
I can tell you all that us at EVPE will have a great and phenomenal new year because of the year that you guys have given us by watching us every week and enjoying the show with us, and your comments and the way you guys analyze and add to our conversations and some of the stuff. We have got some of the best viewers that I've ever seen on any podcast I've ever watched, and I watch a lot of them. I just don't admit it. The intelligence that not only comes from the 6 people that you see sitting here, but the intelligence that comes from our viewers is phenomenal. We have a group of viewers, and most of our viewers are phenomenal investigators that we have all worked with numerous times, and we love and enjoy every one of you guys. And we're thankful that you guys are here.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So with that being said, we will be back on January 8th.
Not April 25th.
Not April 25th.
Roger can rest.
Roger can rest. And we are going to miss you guys that entire time. Don't ever think that we don't miss our viewers as much as we miss each other as a group. We love spending time together as a group, but we also enjoyed you guys coming in too, because some of the stuff that you guys add to our show is phenomenal.
It's fantastic, and there'd be no reason for a show without them. So we thank you very, very much.
Well, we could do a show without you guys. We just look like a bunch of losers doing a podcast and nobody watches.
That's true. That's true.
So you wouldn't be able to tell the difference, is what we're saying.
Right.
But we want to definitely wish you guys a Merry Christmas. Make sure you spend time with family, because family is one of the most important things. Make sure you spend time with your loved ones. Make sure you get out there, and giving is a lot better than receiving, as long as you're talking about presents and nothing else.
Yes, and shameless plugs real fast too.
Go for it.
We'll be on Jotnik's Paranormal's Paranormal Lens with Chad Thomas and Jamie Widener tomorrow night at 9 p.m.
Yeah, I think it's at 9 p.m.
Yep, 9 p.m. tomorrow night. Talking about Staticom.
And then on Thursday, we are on another show.
Yes.
Yeah, I probably should have looked it up
Yeah,
earlier.
I meant to tell you that before.
But Crossroads with
Crossroads Live.
Yeah, with Jody Nettles is her name.
Yep.
Jody Nettles on
So
Thursday, and that's at 8:30.
Thursday night.
And that's the link for Chad Show tomorrow night.
There you go. Perfect, Chad. Thanks. Yep. I actually might do a Staticom Live after the show tonight. Maybe I'm playing around with some stuff. Tony and I need to get on the phone because I know he's trying some new stuff. I found something that might be beneficial to our process.
Mine should have gone live yesterday, but I ran out of time. So next live I do, we'll see what happens.
I'm sure it'll be good. I'm saying we need to talk because I'm trying a couple things I think might be
Merry Christmas.
hopeful that something you might want to know about.
Awesome.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Antoine Ritter.
Merry Christmas. Yes.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's to everyone.
Make sure you all tune in to Dimensions of the Supernatural on the 28th of December. You're going to see a shitload of great people on that show that night. That is the year-end show for Dimensions of the Supernatural with Maureen Gazinski and Anthony Simonelli. How you doing? I can tell you,
Thursdays, right?
People that you're looking at right here will be on the show, and there will be I'm trying to figure out how they're going to fit everybody on StreamYard. There's going to be a ton of great people and great investigators, great psychics, great sensitives on that show. It's going to be a year-end finale for them. We will all be there, so make sure you tune in.
They're doing two of them. He's doing a year-end Christmas show this Thursday with a large group of people, and then the following Thursday he's having the 6 chuckleheads you see here, and
with some other people.
Yeah,
for New Year's.
People.
Yeah.
So those will be pretty phenomenal shows. Make sure you guys go into the new year, and this is my opinion, which I rarely give.
No, he's so quiet and shy.
So a lot of people will, for the new year, I am very shy.
Yeah.
For the new year, everybody goes into a New Year's resolution and says, this is what I'm going to do over the next year to better ourselves. Do me a favor. Don't make a New Year resolution that you're going to forget about come February or March. Make sure that you're spending every day making your life the best you can make it and making yourself better in every way. Don't make a commitment that you're going to break. Make a commitment every day to making your life and the ones that you love's lives better. And that is how we all become better people.
Yep.
That's right.
Very well said.
And one more. I will be on History of a Haunting podcast on
December 30th.
Yes. So
it was his shameless plug.
I'm excited to see it.
There you go. History of a Haunting with Tony Rathman, Carrie Hopper, Laura Ackerman. Make sure you guys tune in. Cherie, you going to be there?
I don't think Cherie. Well, I'll let her answer.
I don't think I'm going to be on that show. Because I'm working.
Oh.
On a Saturday?
Are you sure?
What about if there's a coach bag in it?
It's a Saturday. If it's a coach bag.
What if there's a coach bag in it for you?
It has to be really big. That's it big.
Really big coach bag.
What if there's a coach bag in it for you that you can re-gift to your daughter for Christmas? There's always that little enticing
possibilities there.
Yes. Just have a shared Amazon account and look in their list. That's the best way to get present ideas. Oh, that.
click, buy now. Yeah. All right, guys, have a Merry Christmas. Have a Happy New Year. During the holidays, we don't want you to, but the minute those things stop, make sure you stay haunted. All right, guys.
Night.
We'll see you next year. Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year.
Can you give me a name? What's your name?